How you begin your day determines how you carry your mind through the world, and most men start already behind, mentally scrambled, emotionally reactive, and chasing things that don't even matter. A modern Stoic doesn't live like that. His morning isn't about productivity hacks or flashy affirmations. It's about preparation, stillness, control. Because before you face the outside world, you need to first confront your inner one. Waking up isn't just physical, it's psychological. It's deciding whether you'll command the day or let it command you. The modern world pushes you to check your phone before you've even checked in with your thoughts, to start reacting before you've even grounded yourself. That's why a Stoic morning is different. It's designed to create mental space before noise enters, a space where clarity is built, where the mind becomes a weapon, not a weakness. This routine isn't about doing more, it's about doing what matters. It's about creating habits that serve your discipline, not your dopamine. Because being unshakable doesn't start in crisis, it starts in silence. Before the world gets a piece of you, you claim yourself fully. And that starts with a system, a ritual, a mindset designed not to impress others, but to anchor you to what cannot be moved. The first pillar of a Stoic morning is silence, not scrolling, not music, not even words, just silence. You wake up and you sit with yourself, no distractions, no stimulation, just presence. Why? Because before you let the world program your thoughts, you need to know what your own mind is doing. Most people run from silence because it confronts them with what they've been avoiding, fears, regrets, unfinished thoughts. But the modern Stoic embraces it. He knows that mental clarity begins in discomfort. You sit, you breathe. You don't force thoughts away. You observe them. You watch your mind wake up before you feed it with external input. You become the gatekeeper. You decide what comes in and what stays out. This one act alone separates the reactive man from the reflective man. It teaches you that stillness isn't lack of movement, it's intentional control. Then comes the second pillar, movement. Not to burn calories or to look good, but to activate discipline. When your body moves, your mind follows. You don't need a gym. You need consistency, a walk, push-ups, cold water, controlled breath. Physical discomfort early in the day reminds you that you run this machine. It doesn't run you. That small act of resistance builds momentum. It tells your nervous system, I am awake, I am in control, and I am ready. The third pillar of a Stoic morning is intention. Before the noise of the world floods in, the messages, the demands, the distractions, you choose your focus. This isn't about to-do lists. It's about deciding who you're going to be today. You don't chase the day. You define it. A modern Stoic takes 5 minutes to center his thinking, not with hype, not with fake positivity, but with precision. Who do I want to be in pressure, in silence, in discomfort? This is where journaling enters. Not to romanticize your thoughts, but to sharpen them. 1 page, 1 paragraph, 1 sentence even. Ask yourself, what am I willing to tolerate today? What am I absolutely not tolerating? What do I need to remember when my emotions rise later? This is not self-help fluff. This is mental armor. You're setting your internal compass before the chaos starts. You are not leaving your mindset to chance. You're programming it manually. And then you reinforce it with a mantra, a line, a truth you carry into your day like a weapon. The Stoics did it all the time. Marcus Aurelius didn't write to impress anyone. He wrote to remind himself of what mattered. You do the same. Write it. Read it. Breathe it in. I do not control what happens. I only control how I face it. That one thought, anchored deeply, can change your entire posture, your walk, your words, your reactions, everything shifts. If this speaks to something you've felt but never said, subscribe and hit the bell, not for me, but to protect the peace you've started building. The fourth pillar is input. What you allow into your mind in the first hour of your day becomes the lens through which you see everything else. Most men wake up and flood their mind with garbage, endless news, notifications, opinions, and outrage, and then they wonder why they feel anxious, scattered, weak. A Stoic man chooses differently. He curates his inputs like a soldier sharpens his blade. The first thing that enters his mind isn't a stranger's opinion, it's philosophy, clarity, truth. You don't consume to escape, you consume to calibrate. A passage from Marcus Aurelius, a single line from Epictetus, a paragraph from Seneca. You don't need 100 pages. You need one sentence that punches through the fog and centers your spirit. That's the power of timeless wisdom. It resets your internal standard. It reminds you what you're made of. While the world is chasing hype, you're studying strength. And here's what happens. After a few days, you start to feel different. You don't react the same way to nonsense. You don't get pulled into low-energy drama. You begin to walk with a quiet power, not because your life is perfect, but because your mornings are. You've given yourself the first victory of the day, and when you win the first hour, you carry that momentum into everything else, your work, your decisions, your interactions. You lead. You don't chase. The fifth pillar of the Stoic morning is refusal, the conscious act of saying no, not to people, to patterns. You wake up and say no to weakness, no to distraction, no to the version of yourself that hits snooze, scrolls mindlessly, or gives away time like it's worthless. You refuse to drift. You refuse to be pulled. You train yourself, first thing in the morning, to practice restraint. Because a man who cannot say no to himself will always be ruled by the world. This discipline creates a ripple. You start realizing the value of delayed reaction. You start checking your thoughts before your actions. You don't reply to that text right away. You don't rush to explain yourself. You pause. You think. And you respond like a man who's already anchored. That control, that pause, it starts with the smallest morning decision. It starts with how you get out of bed, how you breathe, how you move. It builds before anyone else sees it. And while everyone else is in a rush, you become steady. While others seek stimulation, you seek structure. You no longer confuse motion with meaning. You're not busy, you're precise. You're not loud, you're effective. You don't need the world to see your routine. You just need it to feel your results. You don't lead with talk, you lead with presence. And that presence, that aura of calm power, starts with how you treat the first hour of your life. Every single day. The final pillar isn't about what you do. It's about what you carry with you. After the silence, the movement, the mindset work, and the reset, you walk out into the world different. Not louder, not faster, but grounded, centered, unshakable. That's the point of all this, not to impress, not to perform, but to build something inside yourself that can't be broken by circumstance, by people, or by pressure. The modern Stoic doesn't wake up to escape life. He wakes up to prepare for it. Most men chase motivation. You've chosen mastery. You don't rely on hype, you rely on habits. You don't wait for things to calm down, you become the calm. And that's why your morning matters. Not because the world needs to know what you do at 6 a.m., but because you know what kind of man you are when no one's watching. That's where it all begins. The man you are in private determines the man they meet in public. So ask yourself, when the rest of the world starts their day in chaos, weakness, and noise, will you still be the one who rises in silence, owns his mind, and leads from within?